The Quick Diz Takes podcast is a Quick Diz Takes production.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner.
Oh boy!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special
Episode.
Yes, that's the word. Special episode of the Quick Diz Takes podcast. On special episodes, as you may know, we usually have guests. So today we have Phillip and Dana from Aloha Ears, and they're joining us, and I should say we also have who's joining for our regular hosts are Sarah.
Hey, howdy, hey.
And Steve.
How's it going?
So we're gonna get into talking about what their ear company and everything. But before we start that whole thing, just how, since now you're doing this whole thing with Disney, how did Disney get into your lives? Like, what made, like, you know, that whole, the beginning of the whole your Disney story that brought you to having this?
How did the obsession start?
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
Start with you, because it started with you.
I definitely get my love of Disney from my family. My dad, I didn't find this out actually till a couple of years ago. My dad, when he was a kid, would grow up in front of the TV watching Uncle Walt on the TV about coming to Disney World when it opened, and it was his dream always to go there. They didn't have the opportunity to as a child, and so his dream when he grew up, got married, and had kids was to take his kids. That was like his just like main focus in life. A big family vacation. Always wanted to take the kids to Disney World, and so we got that opportunity. I finally got to go when I was. I got to go when I was what, 4, and then my older sister, my brother, obviously as well. We went our first trip and just fell in love with it. My dad, like normal guy, like worked a ton, and he just turned into this different person. And so going to the parks was just like this amazing family vacation for us. Where like, it was just like a totally different side of our family came out. It was amazing. And so we went every 4 years growing up, and my dad and I would be super nerdy. If you guys know what these are, the Birnbaum like planning books. You ever heard of those? Okay, cool.
We may have announced one of our pregnancies using that to my parents, so yes.
That's amazing.
I love this. Okay.
I don't have one next to me, but I have them in the other room.
Yes. Okay.
We love Birnbaum.
They're the best. Okay. So my dad would give me a colored highlighter and go through, and he'd be like, highlight all the things you want to do, all the things you want to go do, whatever. And then he would go through and highlight, and we would like nerd out hardcore over these books until like we were ready to go. And so my love came just from growing up in it. And then I met Phillip.
Yeah, when we got married and she told me there was a Disney in Florida, I was like, wait, what? I thought it was just in California.
And then I was like, okay, cool.
Knew nothing really about the Disney parks or anything. And after we got married, Dana kept mentioning she wanted to go take me to Disney.
Well,
and
there's
I'm
something very interesting about this too. We should talk about. I actually stifled my Disney obsession very down deep.
Yeah, she hid it from me.
No.
He didn't even know.
Before we got married, I had no idea.
That's a very difficult secret to keep, I feel.
Yeah.
It is.
Especially when you're like at the Birnbaum level. Like,
Right?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It took a lot.
But it came out shortly after we got married.
Well, she needs to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, but so eventually I was like, okay, we're gonna do one trip. If I go and do this once, I'll never have to go again ever in my life. That was my whole like feeling going in. And so I was like, all right, just gotta get this out of the way, one and done. Fast forward, we went, and it was the most amazing trip I'd ever had. And I literally was like crying when we left. I was like, when can we go back?
Yes.
We came home, and on the way home, I booked our next trip, which was like 4 months away, for like Flower and Garden, because I saw all the like stuff for that. I was like, that looks awesome. Let's go to that. So
Meanwhile, I'm just like, got him.
yeah.
Disney claims another victim.
Yeah, it came a lot later in life for me, but it hit hard.
Yeah.
So
Got him good.
yeah,
That's the shorter version of that crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Now,
So-
since all the closures and stuff, have you been recently, like since it reopened, since the little closure that at least Disney World had?
Well, we actually were looking through photos today. We
Today,
went
literally, yeah.
We went back in
August was the first time we went because
yeah,
we actually
right after
we lived in
reopened.
Florida right when COVID got really, really bad. We moved to Wisconsin where we live now, right in the middle of like, it was beginning of April. So the height of COVID.
Out of the pandemic. Oh no.
Yeah, we moved during that. So we moved right after the parks had closed. And then we went back in August.
Right when they had opened back up, and
Mhm.
it was
Awesome, wasn't it?
Amazing.
We went in July. It was awesome.
Right.
I think they had been open for maybe 10 days when we got there.
Right?
Yeah. We were looking at our pictures of like Magic Kingdom, and it's like me and 3 other people
Yeah.
on like Main Street. We're like, oh, I think this kind of ruined us because that was amazing,
Yeah.
I felt like super bougie. Like I rented the park out by myself.
right?
Yeah.
I'm like, look,
That's
this
how
is just what we do. No.
Must have been able to take. You must have been able to take some of the coolest photos.
Best.
Yeah.
Like even at night. Like I always try to take at least one photo of Main Street at night with all the white lights, but obviously, it's packed. So that
Yeah.
must have been actually some of the best photos that you may have taken.
It was really fun, honestly. Hollywood Studios is our favorite at night, actually, because Dana loves all the neons and everything. And we went there. We rode everything before noon, like
Mhm.
literally every single ride
Yeah.
before noon. And it was just a cool day. Like
We have one photo of Philip like standing in front of Runaway Rail with literally like
Nobody.
back farther on Sunset,
No
like
one.
no one in the
Yeah.
photo. It's just like, oh, those
I think one of my hello child. I think one of my favorite photos is in front of Pirates of the Caribbean, and normally there's that like sea of strollers, and there's just nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
I felt bad for the cast member. Like, let's just take a picture. He's standing here. He's not doing anything. It's one of my favorite pictures right now.
Did you also like notice like all sorts of like details that you'd never noticed before because there wasn't millions of people around?
I wasn't worried about getting my heels clipped by somebody. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we lived there. We went to the parks like every week for almost 3 years
Yeah.
that we lived there. And then when we went back in August, I was like, I can't believe how many things I noticed that I'd never seen in like the 3 years that we lived there. It was really cool.
times.
Mm.
They have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we just went back in October and it was so different.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went back in. We were in August, so it was right before Florida went back to school, so it was it was a little busy, but then
Yeah.
I know after they went back to school, it was dead again. But it was still that 1 year difference was just like, people are back.
we don't get all the parks to ourselves.
No, it was
People
worth
ruin
having to wear the
Disney.
mask the whole time just to be in the empty park.
Oh gosh. It's kind of true though. It's kind of true.
Yeah.
So I actually have a question that I've been wanting to ask because you guys just mentioned that you lived in Florida for 3 years and went a lot. Did any of the magic start wearing off?
100% yes.
Yeah. Not even without people ask this test actually a lot. Especially they're like, I'm thinking of moving to Florida. How did you feel when you moved there? When we first moved there, it was like a kid in a candy store. Like I would drive by the billboards, like saying Disney World in X amount of miles. And I'm like, I was just freaking out. And then slowly as time goes on, like Philip said, you start to just kind of like, it starts to become like, it'd be like having Christmas every day. It's just kind of like, doesn't get as special. It doesn't feel as special. You start to become so excited for any little tiny thing that would be new. Like they brought out a new milkshake, or like they put up a sticker on a window, like come and see it, and it'd just be like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like I need to like savor some of this for like different.
If you're moving to Florida just to be near Disney World, then that's not enough to move to Florida. And it does. It totally ruins the magic magic for you.
And that's coming from us, like doing, like we live 100% in the magic because we create stuff like this every day. And so it's like, for us, it's like, it was great for business. It was absolutely a wonderful business move. But like for Philip and I, and me especially, it totally killed the magic. And now having lived away from it, so different going back.
You know, and part of it is for Dana, which is funny because our last couple trips back, Dana's like, I'm feeling that again, like that feeling, like, and she's like, it's kind of fun that it's coming back. And I think part of it is the planning and the like lead up to the trip, like the burn
anticipation,
like books, you know, like that kind of stuff is an important part of like feeling that magic for her.
But I'm also like very type A, like love to plan vacations. Like I'm that very strange person. So I'm just like, give me like lists and give me burn bomb books and give me like.
I was just going to say, if you have the Excel sheet where you have like the item is purchased, the item is packed, and then what the item is, where it's packed, is it in your carry-on, it's in your suitcase?
So yeah, you're just describing.
Just saying, and I'm definitely not.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That's not me.
I packed.
No, it's for a friend.
Yeah, I think that has definitely come back now that we've moved here, especially. And now that like we live in Wisconsin, we can like go to like both parks now. It's like Florida and California. We're pretty stoked to be like halfway in the middle ground. Tokyo when it reopens.
Yeah.
Now I assume that was a little bit different because while you were in Florida, you got to go to see some international Disney parks.
Yes.
So I'm assuming those maybe still had a plan. It was a trip. It was a vacation. I assume those stayed pretty magical.
Oh, for sure. We went to. We had the opportunity to go to Paris twice, and we got to go to Tokyo once, and that was.
We can't wait to go back.
Yeah. I would just say Tokyo will ruin you in all the best ways for all Disney parks.
Have you guys been to either Tokyo or Paris?
No, but no. But
If you loved it.
That's what everybody I've heard that has gone has said about Tokyo. It's just like crazy
Just
how
get
great it
rest.
is. Yeah.
No.
It's fun. I love it there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks incredible. Just in pictures, I can imagine what it looks like in real life if the pictures look that incredible.
I say this with all the love in my heart for Disney World and Disneyland, especially the OG park. Disney Tokyo makes it look like amateur hour. Like, I cannot. I'm just sorry. Like, the rides are insane.
He's out.
The decoration. Oh, he just had to. Lucy like wants to go outside so bad.
Oh.
The rides are insane. The parades are next level. Our Fantasia literally looks like a high school, Fantasmic looks like a high school level production of Fantasmic compared to theirs. It's insane, and I love that. Like Fantasmic's one of my favorite shows, like on property. So
Oh no.
I've seen in the videos, like during the parades, everybody sits, right?
Oh my gosh,
so
it's most
polite
amazing.
about everything.
I feel like that needs to be part of your admission. It's like you understand that it's not just your vacation. A good portion of the park is small children.
it would be so much better, and I love that we're there. But could you imagine trying to get like the Karen of the United States to do that? Like, no,
Yeah,
that's
right.
not
Come over the loudspeaker. Ladies and gentlemen, sit on your behinds.
It's never gonna
No,
happen.
no, you three in from the bush. You're still not sitting on your behind. Thank you.
Well, you know, you would get some guy from Boston going, "Hey, I didn't pay thousands of dollars for what to do. All right,
You still
if I
have
don't
some-
want to sit, I ain't gonna sit."
Yeah.
Then I have to say, "Dad, will you please have?"
I can't do crisscross applesauce no more.
My knee.
Yeah.
I can't with my knee and the arthritis. I knew it was going to rain 5 days ago. I can't get. If I get down, I ain't getting back up.
Oh, it's so accurate. It hurts.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Welcome to New England, everyone. If you've never been, that's it.
My
That's
sister was
basically-
on Fall River for like 12 years, so I've got a little taste of that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's it's a pretty
Beautiful,
special place.
beautiful city.
Scholarship city, actually.
Yes. Oh gosh.
I was running in Fall River this morning. Actually, just there. It was
Oh.
beautiful
Good times.
in the
Was it
snow.
away from the loud noises, or
Uh,
was it for exercise?
it was for
It was for
exercise.
Oh,
Just
okay. good.
nothing was chasing him. This is
No.
That's-
willingly.
that's good.
Do you get taste a lot? Is this a common thing?
Oh no, he does a lot of half marathons, and he's currently training for the dopey.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
But I often joke. So I used to run in high school and college, but I clearly do not do that anymore. And I often joke about how nothing's chasing him. There's really no need for him to run. So, no.
You know, anytime I was training for a race, I just said that I was running towards my next meal because the running allows me to feel less guilty about it. So I would think about like the donut that I was going to be maple frosted that I would be eating later.
Well, Johnny did one in this fall. I was in Swans. It was like a harvest half, and they gave him apple cider donuts. Like you run this race, so you finish around 9:30, and they gave him like 2 beers and some donuts.
2 beers, donuts, and a pumpkin pie. It was awesome.
And a pumpkin pie. I forgot about that. Yep.
Like a whole pie or like a piece of it?
Just a piece. They gave us the
tall boys.
Tall boy Narragansetts. It was 2 of them. It was nice.
Like maybe I should drive home. I'm not sure about this.
That was my best race of the year too. Just you guys, you had said you had been in August. Was the Genie there when you were there, or had it not come out yet? Oh, so you didn't.
Genie came out.
I mean October. You said in October.
Oh yeah. Okay, so August.
I said I was there in August. But
sorry.
It wasn't available when it was it out. Did you guys use
it? Was out.
We did, yes.
Because I know about there's mixed feelings. Some people like it, some people hate it. I don't know.
Especially as definitely type A people that I'm definitely not. Yes, I'm curious also.
I think you'll like it from a planning standpoint. It really makes a lot of sense, I think, from that aspect.
It's a lot like the actual, not like Lightning Lane and all that crap. Like Genie Plus itself, like the free like app part, it's actually really helpful because it will tell you like this is really low or this is really high. And so before you go on your trip, you can put like, I want to make sure I hit these rides and go to this restaurant. I'm interested in this restaurant. And so one, for example, we were trying to get to Plaza while we were there because we really wanted to try or have their Monte Cristos. And so I had said that I was interested in trying to find this restaurant. And so that day they popped up, oh, there's a reservation. If you want it now, go for it. And so they like give you little notifications of things pop last minute rather than having to My Disney app over and over and over again. And so that was really nice just from that standpoint. As for like it's different for pass holders versus like non-pass holders that are coming like on a trip. Also, I feel like Disney, like Genie Plus, all encompassing as well.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this on one of our live streams too. If you're a pass holder, you can't purchase it ahead of time. You have to just purchase it day of when you're in the park. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things we told like our followers and stuff is if you're a pass holder or if you haven't purchased it yet, you go into the park and there's like a crap ton of people, definitely buy it. It's worth it. We were able to get on some rides. We only bought it for one day when we were in Hollywood Studios. It was like just tons and tons of people. And so we were be able to get on the rides that we wanted. We had planned on buying it for other days, but we never needed to just purely because like there wasn't anybody in the parks. It was pretty empty. And so we were able to get on the rides before, and we didn't flush $15 per person down the drain. Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer there though, because we just moved and we lived there for 3 years, we've been on the rides a lot. And so like if we missed certain rides because the wait was too long, we didn't care because it wasn't that big of a deal for us. But I'd say if like you wanted to hit like every ride in that park, or a lot of rides in that park, then you needed to then I'd say it's worth it to get Genie Plus each day, or the Lightning Lanes.
Yeah. It's very similar also to like Disneyland's old what they call the Max Pass, I guess. Mm-hmm. You guys were familiar with that. It's really similar to that, where like you only get one at a time, and then like they go through that, you just do one at a time, boom, boom, boom. So it's actually very similar. So we had no qualms with it really, or issues with it.
Yeah, I'd actually say it's better than the Fast Pass system.
So the Genie Plus, so you buy it that day. I know if you're staying on property, you can make your bids, I guess, for these rides before people who are just kind of staying off property, or if they're just coming into the park, if they're a local, they make theirs when the park opens versus the 7 a.m. if you're on property. But my question is, you don't get that guaranteed, like at least with Fast Passes, 60 days out, you knew at 12:45 you had Slinky Dog Dash. At 1:48, whatever it was, you had like your reservation, but you don't get that now, right? It's just...
But I feel like there's way more opportunities now for that. Like when you get up in the morning and you check it, I feel like it's way easier to get some of those
big ticket rides.
Like And that's where it's different than the fast pass system. Like the fast pass, if you were staying, you're booking a trip out and you can book it, what was it, like 60 days before, whatever, and you could get your guaranteed slots. Like, unless you were doing that, it was like impossible to get any of the good rides, it felt like. But like, I feel like with this going there, like, honestly, you can get just about anything in the morning when you check it. And so I think there's more available, it feels like, than there was with the fast pass system.
Yeah.
Also, something we noticed, and I'm sure this was part of their thinking with it, when we lived in Florida and we knew a lot of people there, the way they abused the fast pass system, we had a lot of acquaintances that would start their day, like they're not planning on going to the parks, but they jump on and book fast passes, or they book fast passes for like months out, and like literally every single day, but no intentions of going to the park. And I'd always ask them, like, why do you like book all those? And they're like, well, just in case I end up going to the parks. And it's like, yeah, but then like that takes slots for people that are actually in the parks. And it's like, well, do you at least cancel them day of? And they're like, no, what's the point? Like, if I go, I'll go. And if I don't, then, it doesn't cost me anything. And so I think a lot of fast passes were being taken by people that were just in case I'm going to the parks, and we would see people that have like hundreds of them booked. Yeah. And like, it was ridiculous. Like, and so I think that this eliminates a lot of that. And that's why I think there's a lot more freed up. Yeah. So
that's kind of eye-opening. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people think about that. I mean, it's not something you like, I'm sure Disney's not going to be like, yeah, we want to stop, basically locals from taking all the fast passes.
Avoiding all the fast passes. I mean, we go pretty regularly, and we, from when it opened until it reopened after the pandemic, we hadn't been able to go on Slinky Dog Dash at all. When it reopened after the pandemic, like I said, we've been there maybe 10 days after they reopened. That was the first time we'd been able to get on Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah, that's
so.
Which such a good roller coaster.
It's amazing.
So fun. That's so sad.
But I mean, it took a global pandemic for us to get on, but we got on.
There you go.
So.
Funny story about Toy Story Land. The opening was the first land that opened when we lived there, and so I was really excited to see a whole new area open up. And so we had some friends coming in from out of town. They're staying with us, and we had our whole plan. We were going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning so we could be at the park right when it opens, so we could get in there and see everything.
I'm on Instagram and I see a friend of mine walking through Toy Story Land. I'm like, what the crap? What are you doing? They're like, well, they opened it really,
the night
really early the night before. Run! And so we
in pajamas and stuff, because it was super late at night. We hop in the car, book it over there. We're we're gonna so we get to the parking lot, we park, and we're all running for the tram. And I'm like, wait, I forgot to turn the truck off. I have to run back to the truck. I just left it running in the parking lot. Open. Yeah, anyways, we were
I was just really excited.
Yeah, I was very excited.
Totally worth it.
And so we got to ride it the night before it opened, Slinky Dog. It was so fun.
He was so excited that night, because we had to be up in the next 3 hours to make it for opening, that he stayed up that night and 3D printed these little Woody and Buzz boots for everyone that met that day, keychains for people, and just stayed up all night printing all these.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a good day. That was fun. So tiring. I was so tired.
Yeah. We got to meet the Imagineers that actually put together Toy Story Land.
We did that day. That was also really cool.
It was really fun. Got to sit and just talk with them for a little bit.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Really
cool. We've talked a lot on the show if we could create our own ride or substitute or replace things, and we talked about kind of Imagineering our own. It's very armchair Imagineering. We're not actually doing any of that heavy lifting.
Yeah.
But this past summer when we went, I had a shirt, a tank top I had ordered online. It had Joe Rohde's face on it. And the number of people who didn't know who I was oh, that's so sweet. You have your husband's face on it. And meanwhile, Johnny's standing right next to me. And I was like, to you? Is the giant earring confusing you? I have questions. But the people who knew who Joe Rohde was, I was like, you're my people.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
You should have said no. It's
to meet an Imagineer.
You should have said, yeah, husband number one.
It was the first one. Can you imagine? Ugh. Anyway, sorry. I love you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just Joe now.
Yeah, just Joe.
They look just alike. I mean, let's throw up a split screen at one point, shall we?
Just give him a clip-on earring. Next Halloween costume. He's good.
Yeah.
I don't even think any of us have the technological know-how to do a split screen of the two photos, and that's also why we're not Imagineers, by the way.
I mean, I could like share my screen and put that up there, but that's a lot of work, and it's not technically a school moment right now. So.
No, that's right.
No.
we did enough of that for over a year.
No, you're done. You're done.
We're done. We're going back to old school paper.
This concludes part 1 of our interview with Phillip and Dana from Aloha Ears. Please tune in next week for part 2 of this 3-part episode.